Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
A now fired Detroit police officer is accused of killing an elderly man by punching him in the face, and he is in court right now. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Nick Monticelli.
And I'm Kim DeGiulio. Today, a now fired Detroit police officer is facing manslaughter charges. The incident happened back in September when the ex-officer responded to a call at the Garden Bowl in Midtown. And here to tell us about that court case that is happening right now is Sean Lay. Good morning, or good afternoon, Sean.
Good afternoon, Kim and Nick. Great to see you guys here at noon. We're monitoring this, and it's happening right now at a court here in Detroit, that this former officer is appearing as we speak. Let me tell you a little bit about it, though. This happened back September 1st, as you two mentioned here, at Garden Bowl. An officer named Juan Brown, well, he was dispatched to the location for a 71-year-old man who was reportedly disorderly at the Garden Bowl. Prosecutors do say that there was a verbal confrontation between the police officer, Brown, and a victim named Daryl Vance, the 71-year-old. Prosecutors say Brown then punched the 71-year-old, sending him to the ground. And weeks later, September 20th, the 71-year-old Daryl Vance, he passed away from his injuries. Now, as we say, we're monitoring this today. Police Chief James White did have something to say about it earlier this morning. We'll dig a little bit into that. And police also say they are going to have a statement on this situation. Brown has been relieved of his duties at DPD. He is appealing that. And as I say, he just appeared in court. Still may be there right now, but we understand he has a personal bond of $100,000. Much more on this coming up, guys. But a police officer, now former officer, alleged to have punched a 70-year-old man, resulting in his death. We'll continue following this and have much more later, guys.
All right, thank you, Sean. Well, Mound Road is now fully open following more than 2 years of construction. Businesses say this reopening was long overdue. The project launched back in March of 2022, and we saw Macomb County officials, they were celebrating the reopening this morning. County Executive Mark Hackle saying the wait, well, it's going to be worth it.
We knew there was going to be disruption for business, disruption for people traveling around here, but it was limited based upon those, I guess, recommendations we got from people that were upset about a few things that might have happened along the way. But we tried to keep things going the best we can, and the business support that we had to make this happen, well, I got to tell you, they're going to benefit from this tenfold.
Deserve it after this wait. So the $222 million Innovate Mound project rebuilt Mound Road from I-696 to M59 in Sterling Heights and Warren Avenue.
Well, it is a major blow to former President Trump's re-election efforts.
Colorado Supreme Court is kicking former President Donald Trump off the ballot in the state's primary next year. As Bree Jackson reports from Washington, the state Supreme Court says Trump violated the Constitution.
Colorado's state Supreme Court ruling stems from a provision in the 14th Amendment that says no person can serve as an officer of the United States who engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the U.S. The decision marks the first time a 14th Amendment challenge to Trump's candidacy has been successful.
The Colorado State Supreme Court ruling that former President Trump's speech inciting the crowd on January 6 was not protected under the First Amendment.
Frankly, this case is only here because Trump's actions himself. He is the person who has led to this decision that he is disqualified because he tried to steal the presidency from the American people.
The ruling states that because Trump is disqualified, it would be a wrongful act to list him as a candidate on the presidential primary ballot. The attorney for the plaintiff praised the move.
There's no fundamental right to be a presidential candidate.
The Trump campaign called the decision completely flawed and is vowing an appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court.
If a court decides that he is on the ballot, I, of course, will follow that.
Trump continues to hold a commanding lead among his Republican presidential hopefuls. This latest legal challenge of his comes less than 1 month from the Iowa caucuses.
I'm going to be here. I'm going to be probably in Des Moines or someplace. I'll be caucusing. We don't want to take any chances, right?
Nikki Haley, the former UN ambassador under Trump's administration, reacted to the Colorado ruling.
We don't need to have judges making these decisions. We need voters to make these decisions. So I want to see this in the hands of the voters.
Despite mounting legal woes, some 2024 rivals are defending the party's frontrunner.
They're criminalizing politics, and that's what Trump is facing.
Former President Trump fighting court cases and to stay on the ballot in Colorado.
The Colorado State Supreme Court has put its decision on hold until January 4th to allow for further appeals. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
All right, Bree. And also, a liberal group in Michigan wants to keep the former president off of the state's primary ballot in 2024. Free speech for the people is now going to the state's highest court.
Yeah, with that appeal, it's arguing the 14th Amendment should bar Trump because of his actions on January 6, 2021. An appeals court disagreed.
A Detroit man facing up to 20 years in prison after police say he made threatening phone calls to a senior living facility. Ryan Maples is charged with false report or threat of terrorism for the alleged threats earlier this month. Phone records led investigators directly to Maples. Canton Police Chief Chad Boss says that his department has seen an uptick lately in threats against public establishments like churches, senior homes, and schools.
Employees are back to work at Factory Zero after a fire shut down production at the plant just yesterday. This is according to the Detroit Free Press. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but GM says some lithium-ion batteries sparked a fire near the plant's loading dock. The plant was evacuated, and officials said all employees were accounted for and safe. No injuries were reported due to the fire. Production resumed this morning. Well, it's not just your imagination.
Motown music is back in Detroit with a new Broadway musical, Aint Too Proud, the life and times of the Temptations. I've gotten the pleasure of hearing Nick sing all morning.
Yeah, pleasure.
He's pretty good at it. No, you're good. So the musical follows the Temptations' journey from Detroit to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. One of the lead singers of the Temptations, Otis Williams, says that he was impressed with the cast and the production of the musical.
I love it that they're telling the story about us, because we do not want them to think that it's all just music. It's got highs and lows and a lot of stuff that they say, oh my God, Otis went through that. And they're doing a wonderful job of portraying that.
Well, not too much longer to catch the performances of Aint Too Proud at the Fisher Theater. It's going now through just this Saturday, the 23rd. Ticket information is on our website at clickondetroit.com. All right, so if you're doing anything or any last-minute shopping, I guess probably today is a good day to do it because the sun is out, the temperatures are up. Rain, though, according to Ashley, kind of moving on its way in.
Yeah, but I mean, I always like to think about it, rain could be snow this time of the year, which is harder to travel in.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think it just depends on who you ask. Some folks want the snow for the white Christmas. Other folks will be doing a lot of traveling, still a lot of shopping to be done, and like the milder conditions. So we can't please everyone, but we will have a milder end to the work week heading into the weekend, but some rain chances, as Nick mentioned. So we've had some clouds building over the last hour or so. We were holding on to sunshine for quite a while, so you can see some of that cloud cover over downtown. We sit at 39 degrees in Detroit. Howell 36, Pontiac 33, Adrian 36 with southwesterly winds about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So that cloud cover being pushed in from the west. A little bit of snow has been picked up on radar just north of Mount Pleasant, so in the northern part of lower Michigan. We stay dry today and tomorrow. It's not until Friday that we're really tracking rain chances here across Metro Detroit. So here's another look at those wind speeds. It's that southwesterly flow that'll keep us on the slightly milder side over the next few days. So we've had some clearing skies, but some clouds have been building in here and there. 41 degrees for the afternoon high today. Here's the deal. We kind of stay in the low 40s all the way through the rest of the work week, but then as we head into the holiday weekend, that's when we start to crank up those temperatures a little bit. And by Christmas Day, 53. So you know what that means. It's not going to be a white Christmas, but will you be grabbing an umbrella instead of the shovel? We'll have more on that in just a few minutes. But in the meantime, you can always track the rain that will be rolling in by the end of the week going into the holiday weekend with your Forewarn weather app.